This video did not come to you by chance. Maybe it was God, maybe the universe, or maybe your future self calling you to hear these words. Because there is a secret kept in the silent mornings, a secret that keeps 94-year-old men and women walking strong, with a sparkle in his eyes, with light steps, with energy that seems inexhaustible. Have you ever felt that your body no longer responds like it used to? That the mind wakes up tired, even after hours of sleep? Have you ever looked in a mirror and thought, is that vitality gone forever? But then you hear about those who made it to 94, who wake up early, breathe deeply, walk gently. Men and women who do not bow to age, who carry a hidden youth in every gesture. And you ask yourself, what is their secret? How is it possible that time, for some, is not a burden, but a path of light? Imagine yourself on a peaceful morning. The sun is still shy, the gentle breeze coming in through the window, a sacred silence enveloping everything. It is at this moment that the secret happens. It is not medicine. It's not a miracle. It's something bigger, something that awakens the vital energy that is already within you. Maybe you've believed that getting older is just about lose strength, lose memory, lose joy. But that's not true. What is lost can be found again. What seemed distant can be reborn. There are people who have discovered how to transform mornings into a source of healing. They transformed small gestures into rituals. They transformed breaths into bridges to peace. They transformed simple foods into fuel for the soul. And when you observe these lives, something inside you awakens. It's as if a forgotten flame has begun to burn again. A soft but powerful flame. The flame of vitality, of clarity, from the energy that runs through the body and illuminates the mind. If you are hearing these words, it is not by chance. You have been called to remember that age is not a burden. It is a path of wisdom, a path where the morning can be the door to a new beginning. While many believe that the days just repeat themselves, some know that each dawn is a gift to breathe deeper, to take care of yourself in harmony, to rediscover the light that never ceased to exist. Today, you will hear about these secrets that keep the heart light, the firm body, and the soul is at peace, even at 94 years old. This is not just a video. It's a calling, a reminder that life energy is still there, within you, waiting to be awakened. You wake up during the night. The clock strikes 3 in the morning. The eyes open on their own, as if the body has forgotten how to rest. A restless mind. The heavy heart. You toss and turn in bed, change position, but sleep doesn't return. The next morning, the mirror reflects tiredness. The swollen eyes. The body without vigor. You take a deep breath, trying to find the strength to start the day, but it feels like something has slipped away inside you. Maybe you felt your legs weak when standing up, or that short memory, which hides among memories. You search for a simple word, a familiar name, and it seems to slip away like sand through your fingers. It is at this moment that the feeling of loss appears, the idea that time has taken away more than it has given back. And, silently, you ask yourself, will life always be like this? Are the days of energy and clarity behind us? These pains are not just yours. They are part of the reality of millions of people. The insomnia that steals the night. The constant trips to the bathroom that interrupt your rest. The slow body, which no longer follows the will of the soul. Memory, which fails in the middle of a simple conversation. But there is something important to remember. You are not alone. Every breath you take now connects you to thousands of men and women who are living the same struggles. And just like you, they are looking for a way out. A path to rediscover vitality. A path to living with clarity and light. The truth is that these signs are not the end. They are a calling, a request from the body to be heard, a plea from the soul to be cared for. And when we start to see it this way, the burden becomes an opportunity. Imagine for a moment that these difficulties are not just pains, but messages. Messages that something inside you still wants to blossom, that the body asks for harmony, that the mind cries out for peace, and the spirit seeks to return to its center. It doesn't matter how old you are. What matters is the choice you make every morning. The choice to listen to these messages. To seek practices that bring balance. To make room for vital energy to circulate again. This is what we will walk together about from now on. A smooth but deep path. A journey where each word will be like a lit lamp in a dark corridor. You will see that there is light. And may this light guide your steps back to strength, to memory, to serenity. And if you've come this far, it's because something inside you is already ready for this transformation. So let this path continue with you. Stay by my side, sign up so you don't get lost on this journey. Because each new encounter will be like another step towards clarity, healing, and harmony. Age can even bring challenges. But it also brings the wisdom of recognizing what really matters. And now it's important to take care of yourself. Take care of your light. Take care of your vital energy. And when you do this, you will notice that your body, even though tired, still has strength. That the mind, even forgotten, still holds precious memories. And that the heart, even wounded, still beats with hope. Perhaps you have believed, for many years, that everything you feel is just a natural consequence of aging. That the body becomes fragile because that's how it is. That the mind becomes slow because there is no other way out. Waking up tired, losing memory, living without energy, is just part of the fate of those who grow old. But listen carefully, that is not the whole truth. Age is not the enemy. She is just a number, a record of time. What really shapes your vitality are the silent habits, repeated day after day. And habits can be transformed. Think for a moment about a flame. If you feed it with fresh air and dry wood, it grows, warms, and illuminates. But if you cover the flame with ash and carelessness, it slowly goes out. This is the energy within you. It is not age that extinguishes the flame. It is the ashes of bad habits that accumulate on it. Many men and women who today walk firmly at 90, at 94 years old, did not defy time with magic. They just tended that flame every day. With simple, yet sacred choices. They learned that each morning is an invitation to begin again. That every breath is a bridge to vitality. That every gesture can be made with wisdom. You may believe that youth never returns. But in reality, she never left. She is there, silent, waiting to be awakened. The body speaks through signs. The mind sends messages through forgetfulness. The heart cries out with each slower beat. And all of this is a call to change, not to give up. Transformation happens when we stop looking at age as a sentence, and we began to see it as a portal of consciousness. Maturity brings the advantage of wisdom, and it is this wisdom that can rekindle vitality if used correctly. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling your body light, your mind clear, your heart peaceful. It wouldn't be a miracle. It would be a reflection of small changes made today. Changes that make room for vital energy to circulate again. Changes that restore to the spirit the calm that time should never have stolen. Throughout life, we learn to value many external things. But now, what matters most is what's inside. The silence that heals. The breath that calms. The food that strengthens. The ritual that harmonizes. It's not about fighting against time, but to walk with him in peace. Turning every morning into a rebirth. Transforming every gesture into a conscious choice. Turning each day into proof that vitality doesn't depend on age, but on care. True youth is not measured in years, but in energy. And this energy can be cultivated. She does not belong to the past. It can be lived now. Because age can mark the body, but it doesn't need to extinguish the light of the soul. There is something hidden, silent, that has been stealing your energy without you noticing. An invisible enemy that disguises itself in small everyday gestures. He does not announce his arrival with immediate pain. Don't knock on the door with fanfare. It creeps in slowly, like a shadow creeping in at dusk. And before you know it, it's become part of your routine. Maybe it's that sugar at night that seems innocent but clouds your mind and robs you of deep sleep. Perhaps it's the habit of staying in front of screens until late, receiving artificial lights that confuse the body and disorient the mind. Perhaps it's the lack of silence before bed, when thoughts run wild like untamed horses and prevent the heart from finding peace. These small mistakes, repeated day after day, form an invisible weight. They create a veil over the mind. A veil that takes away clarity, dims the shine in the eyes, and slowly consumes vitality. The body does not forget. Every sleepless night, every subtle excess, every lack of harmony leaves marks that accumulate. And these marks are felt the next day, in the tired body, in the failing memory, in the shortness of breath. It's easy to believe that this is just part of getting older. But the truth is that this enemy feeds on carelessness, not years. When you indulge in these silent habits, you offer nourishment to that shadow. And it grows, strengthens, until life loses its natural rhythm. Sugar doesn't just feed the body. It also feeds the fog in your mind. Screens don't just light up the eyes. They also turn off the light of deep sleep. Silence is not the absence of sound. He is a healing presence. And when silence is lacking, the spirit loses its chance to rest. But when we begin to recognize this enemy, something changes. Consciousness becomes a beacon. And this lighthouse reveals that every gesture has consequences. Every choice opens or closes doors. The body asks for balance. The mind asks for space. The heart asks for calm. And the spirit asks for harmony. That's why it's so important to look inside and realize, where is the shadow that steals my energy? What seemingly small habit keeps me from clarity? The answer does not come in a hurry. It appears in the silence. It arises the moment you decide to observe yourself. Vitality is not lost all at once. It dissolves into carelessness. But it can also return when each choice is made consciously. The same gesture that today seems to steal can be transformed into a gesture that heals. What once extinguished your energy can become fuel for light. Therefore, when you hear these words, allow yourself to reflect deeply. Feel within yourself what these hidden enemies are that haunt your nights and mornings. Just acknowledging it is the first step to dissolving their power. And if these words made sense to you, if they brought clarity, leave your energy recorded here. A simple gesture of liking can be a way of saying, I acknowledge. I choose the light. And this choice, however small it may seem, already begins to transform your journey. Now that the shadow has been revealed, the opportunity arises before you to exchange carelessness for awareness. And it is at this moment that the body begins to remember the path back to harmony. It's not about complicated formulas, but about simple, everyday gestures that carry within them the power of transformation. Gestures that unite the physical and the spiritual. Tiny seeds that, when cultivated, blossom into vitality. The first of these seeds is conscious breathing. Close your eyes for a moment and inhale gently through your nose, counting to 4. Hold the air inside you, as if guarding a sacred light, counting to 7. Then, release slowly, letting out all tension, until you reach the number 8. This simple cycle teaches the body to relax. Teach the mind to be silent. And remind the spirit that there is peace in every breath of life. It's as if each exhale blows away the fog and makes room for clarity. Another practice that sustains vitality comes from food. I'm not talking about heavy or overindulgent meals, but about the wisdom of choosing what nourishes not only the body, but also the soul. A light fruit at dawn, such as an apple or pear, can be more than just food. It becomes a symbol of freshness, of renewal. Each bite brings the sensation of vital energy returning in gentle waves. It's as if the morning becomes brighter inside you. There is also the strength of the infusions. A cup of chamomile, fennel, or lemongrass tea, prepared in silence, is not just a drink. It's a ritual of calm. As the hot water soaks the herbs, the heart calms. As the aroma spreads through the air, the mind finds serenity. And when the first sip touches the lips, the body receives an invitation to rest in harmony. Another powerful gesture is silence before sleeping. Many believe that sleep comes by chance, but in reality it needs to be welcomed. By turning off your screens, by allowing a few minutes of darkness and stillness, you open a door for your body to sink into deep rest. Silence is an invisible medicine, which heals not with noise, but with space. It is in this space that the spirit finds the chance to renew itself. There is also a special point, almost forgotten, but with great power, self-massage of the hands. Before going to bed, close your eyes and gently press the center of your palm. Make slow circles, breathing calmly. This simple touch activates subtle energy channels, calms the heart, and it sends the message to the body that it is safe, ready to rest. Each of these practices is like a thread that stitches together the fabric of vitality. They do not require excessive strength or physical youth. They only require presence. The presence you already carry within you. The presence that connects the gesture to the sacred. And the best part is that, when these practices are repeated, they stop being just isolated actions. They become rituals. And rituals are bridges that unite the body and the soul. They mark the transition from fatigue to serenity, from confusion to clarity, from weakness to strength. The secret is not to look outside, but to allow these small acts to become part of your life. For every deep breath, every sacred fruit, every calm infusion, every silence of the night, every touch of the hands, all this awakens in you the memory that there is still vitality, that the body can rest, that the mind can clear, and that the spirit can find its center again. Close your eyes for a moment. Leave the world outside. Allow yourself to enter a space of your own, a space of silence and light. Now, imagine your mind as a lake. At first, the waters are rough. Small waves form, as if each thought were a thrown stone. But, little by little, the wind calms down, and the surface of the water begins to become smooth, clear, calm. This lake is you, and the serenity that is born in him is the serenity that is born in his heart. Feel the breath coming in gently. She is like a cool breeze that touches the surface of this lake. With each breath, calmer. With each exhale, more clarity. You notice the fog that once covered your mind begin to dissipate. Now there is light. A soft, golden light that spreads throughout the space. Imagine this light coming down from the top of your head. She enters slowly, like a ray of sunlight piercing the clouds, and it spreads throughout your body. First, it reaches your mind, bringing peace. Then, touch the eyes, illuminating the look. It goes to the heart, warming it with tenderness, and it fills every muscle, every cell, every space inside you. This light is not external. She was always in you. It's your life energy. It is the reminder that even when the body grows tired, the soul remains young. Even when memory fails, the essence remains clear. Even when your legs weaken, the inner light sustains your walk. Now, visualize your hands. See how a soft glow emanates from them. Place a hand over your heart, even if only in imagination. Feel the heat that comes from there. This heat is healing. It's balance. It is life saying, I still bloom in you. Imagine yourself walking through a garden. The trees are tall, full of green leaves. The sky is clear, blue. The birds sing softly. Every step you take in this garden is light. You feel that your body is firm, your mind is clear, your soul is in harmony. In this space, there is no weight. There is no rush. Just peace. Now, say to yourself silently, my mind is calm. My body is strong. My life is being reborn. Repeat these words as if they were seeds planted in this inner garden. Every time you say them, a new flower blooms. Energy flowers. Flowers of clarity. Flowers of harmony. Remain in this state for a few moments. Feel the transformation happening not in the future, but now. Feel as if each breath is a rebirth. As if every heartbeat is a reminder that you are alive, present, whole. And when you open your eyes again, take that light with you. She will not stay just in this moment of imagination. She will follow you. In your breath. In your gestures. In your walk. Because inner transformation is not something distant. It begins with the simple act of imagining. And from there, it expands to every aspect of your life. Just as the lake calms down and reflects the sky, you too can reflect peace, clarity, and vitality. Now that the light has been awakened within you, it is important to feel that it is not alone. The clarity that touched your mind, the calm that filled your heart, does not fade when you open your eyes. It remains, like a sacred flame that cannot be defeated by time. This flame is yours. It is proof that vitality has not been lost, just dormant. And today, she woke up again. Notice how the body, even when tired, still has energy reserves. Understand how the mind, even with flaws, is still capable of creating images, of dreaming, of renewing itself. Notice how the heart, even though wounded so many times, still beats with hope. This is transformation, and it has already started to happen inside you. There is no age to awaken the light. There is no limit to starting over. Time may mark the skin, but it cannot erase the brightness of the spirit. Each wrinkle tells a story, but also holds wisdom. And this wisdom, when combined with small gestures of care, becomes strength, becomes energy, becomes healing. You don't have to walk alone. Thousands of people, in different places, are experiencing the same search. Seeking harmony, seeking rest, seeking clarity. And by sharing your voice, by expressing your experiences, you strengthen this invisible healing network. Commenting on what you felt, even in a few words, is like leaving a testimony of your own light. It's like planting a seed that can inspire someone else to believe in transformation too. Maybe your experience is exactly what another heart needs to hear. Perhaps your word is the breath that awakens in another the courage to continue. When you say out loud or write, "I felt peace, I felt clarity, my energy returned," this is not just reporting. It is an act of affirmation. It's like sealing a pact with life, recognizing that something has already changed in you. And life responds to this gesture. She gets stronger. It opens space for new transformations to happen. You have already started the journey. The path has already opened before your feet. There is no turning back, because the light that has awakened cannot be forgotten. It may even be muffled by carelessness, but never extinguished. She is eternal. It's part of who you are. Remember, your life energy is not gone. It remains within you, waiting each morning to manifest itself. What has begun now is just the beginning of a renaissance. And every choice, every breath, every moment of silence will deepen this healing even further. Feel gratitude for having come this far. Feel gratitude for the body that supports you. Feel gratitude for the mind that, even tired, still learns. Feel gratitude for the spirit that never ceases to shine. And if these words touched something within you, allow your voice to be part of this current. Record your experience. Comment on how you feel now. Because your light can illuminate other lives, just as my voice illuminates yours at this moment. You are not alone. Never was. The healing has already begun. And it will continue to blossom, step by step, in each morning, in each breath, in each instant of consciousness. Every day, when the morning dawns, you carry within you the chance to start over. And even if the body insists on showing signs of fatigue, even if the mind brings back memories of sleepless nights, there is always a thread of light piercing the darkness. That thread of light is your inner strength. He is discreet, but constant. And when you decide to follow it, you realize you're not just living another day, you're moving toward a new state of being. Think of life as a big river. Sometimes the waters become turbulent, full of rocks and obstacles. Other times, they flow serenely, reflecting the sky on their surface. But at all times, the river flows. He never stops. So is your path. Time can bring stones, pain, challenges. But the current of your life energy never ceases. It keeps flowing, even when you forget to notice. Now, as you look at your own story, see how each experience, each struggle, each overcoming has brought you unique wisdom. It was not chance that shaped you. It was the sum of all the days, all the choices, all the lessons. And it is this wisdom that becomes the basis for the transformation that is now blossoming. There is a strength that is born in silence. When you allow yourself to stop for a moment, close your eyes and just breathe, something happens. It's as if time slows down. The heart finds rhythm. The mind becomes quiet. And, in this space, a greater presence manifests itself. Some call it God. Others, of universal energy. Others, simply peace. The name doesn't matter much. What matters is feeling that there is something beyond the physical body, sustaining every heartbeat, guiding every step of your journey. This presence is what gives meaning to the practices you have already begun to awaken. It's not just exercises. They are not just gestures. They are portals. Each conscious breath opens a door to serenity. Every simple and light meal opens a door to vitality. Every moment of silence opens a door to healing. And when you walk through those doors, you realize you're not just taking care of your body. He is taking care of the spirit. You may never have realized it, But your body is like a temple, a sacred space where everything you think, feel, and do manifests. And when you treat this temple with respect, when you nourish it with clarity and harmony, it responds. It restores strength. He restores calm. He gives back life. It is not time that determines how you will live your days. It's how you choose to walk within that time. Every morning, you have two roads before you, the road of carelessness and the road of awareness. One leads to fatigue, the other to clarity. And by choosing the road of consciousness, you are, in fact, choosing to be reborn. Transformation does not happen in big leaps, but in subtle steps. And these steps have already started within you. What seemed distant, today comes closer. What seemed impossible is now just a matter of practice. And, little by little, the vitality that seemed lost begins to flourish again. When you look inside with affection, you discover that you were never empty. There was always a flame burning, however small. And now, that flame finds room to grow. It enlightens your mind, warms your heart, and guides your body. Thus, each dawn ceases to be a repetition and becomes an opportunity. It doesn't matter if yesterday there was pain, forgetfulness, or weakness. Today always brings with it the chance for renewal. And when tomorrow comes, it will also come loaded with that same promise. When vital energy begins to blossom within you, the reflection also appears in what is simple, in the everyday things that seemed ordinary. Suddenly, when you wake up, your body doesn't weigh the same. The air that enters the lungs brings a different lightness, as if it were purer, more full of life. Even the silence of the morning seems richer, more full of meaning. It's as if every detail, previously forgotten, is now revealed to your eyes with clarity. The body responds to care in subtle but powerful ways. Sleep, little by little, becomes deeper. The heart finds a more serene rhythm. The legs, which previously complained with every step, now move a little more steadily. And even memory, which seemed distant, begins to bring back stored memories, words that previously fled, names that appear naturally again. But it's not just in the body that the transformation happens. The mind also renews itself. What was once cloudy now appears clearly. You begin to realize that you don't need to lose yourself in unnecessary worries. Breathing, silence, rituals, all of this opens space for lighter, simpler, more luminous thinking. What once seemed heavy now finds another meaning. And life, which so often seemed gray, becomes colorful again. This transformation also extends to the spirit. Because when the body finds balance and the mind calms, the heart opens. Open yourself up to feeling gratitude for the little things. Open yourself up to forgive what still weighs on you. Open yourself up to reconciling with your own time. And when that happens, a deep peace sets in. It is not peace that depends on external circumstances. It is the peace that is born within, silent, constant, unshakable. With this expansion of vital energy, even relationships change. You notice that you speak more calmly, who listens with more patience, who looks at others not in a hurry, but with presence. This simple gesture of being whole in the now changes everything around you. People feel. They notice that something in you shines differently. And this inner light, even without words, begins to touch those who walk beside you. It is no exaggeration to say that vitality is contagious. When you find clarity and harmony, you transmit it. Your smile becomes more genuine. His gaze becomes more serene. Your voice becomes firmer and softer at the same time. And life, previously marked by a feeling of heaviness, becomes an experience of lightness. This does not mean that there will not be challenges. The body will still have its limits. Age will continue to mark time. But these limits are no longer a prison. They become just part of the landscape. You no longer define yourself by what is lacking, but by the abundance of what flourishes. And this abundance is born within, not without. It is at this point that you realize that true youth is not measured in years, but in energy. It is not measured in brute strength, but in clarity and balance. It's not measured by how many steps you can take, but by how each step feels. And this feeling now is more present than ever. Thus, life ceases to be just about survival. It becomes experience again. It's a meeting again. It's a celebration again. Every morning, every gesture, every breath becomes an opportunity to renew the flame. And this flame no longer needs to go out. Now, take a deep breath and realize something has changed inside you. Perhaps it is subtle, almost invisible to the eye. But deep down in your heart, there is a different calm. There is a new clarity. There is a flame that has burned again. This flame is proof that you are not doomed to fatigue. That vitality is not a privilege of a few, but a right that has always been there, waiting to be awakened. You got here because you were called. Called by life. Called by your future self. Called by the wisdom that dwells within you. Think about how many people have never heard these words. How many still live trapped in the idea that aging is just about losing. But you now know a secret. You have been reminded that there is a way. A path of light. A path of healing. A path that can transform each morning into rebirth. And this memory is not small. She has power. Power to renew your energy. Power to inspire other lives. The power to create a current of clarity and harmony that spreads far beyond you. So, feel privileged. It was no accident that brought you here. It was a gift. A gift that can now also be shared. When you sign up to continue walking together, you are saying to life, I want more light, more strength, more wisdom. When you leave your like gesture, you are marking this moment, I choose vital energy, I choose transformation. And when you comment, even with just a few words, you are giving your own flame to light the flame of others who will come after you. These simple gestures are like seeds thrown into the wind. They may seem small, but they bloom in unexpected places. Perhaps your gesture is what someone needed to silently find courage. Perhaps your words are the beacon that guides a weary heart back to hope. And, at the same time, each gesture of yours further strengthens your own journey. You are not alone. Never was. There is an invisible network, formed by all those who, like you, heard this call and decided to respond. Together, they form a circle of healing, wisdom, and vital energy that knows no boundaries. Let this moment become eternal in you. Bring clarity to your mornings. Bring peace to your nights. Bring harmony to every encounter in your life. And always remember, every breath is a new chance. Every dawn is a rebirth. Every conscious choice is proof that age does not define your strength, but only reveals your wisdom. You heard this call. You were touched by these words. And now, it is part of a transformation that has already begun. Subscribe, like, comment. Not just as a digital gesture, but as a ritual of confirming your new journey. Affirm to the world and to yourself, I choose light. I choose vitality. I choose to live in harmony. And so, with simplicity and truth, his life continues. Clearer, lighter, more full of energy. After all, you didn't get here by chance. It was chosen to remind us that the youth of the soul is eternal, and it blooms, now, within you.